hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean, yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing, yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sunset, it is just getting better.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another meal prep video. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kristi. I'm currently following the WW Blue program, but I do provide the points for all three programs on my channel. I will also link you to the recipes, so that way if you're not following WW, you can get the nutritional facts there. However, you don't need to be on any type of weight loss journey to get tips and ideas from my channel. I do a lot of meal prepping and meal planning that you can surely get ideas from. So I hope you'll consider subscribing by hitting that subscribe button and also clicking the notification bell so you're notified anytime I upload new content. So on the menu this week for breakfast prep, I'm going to be doing cheesecake overnight oats. I have been on an overnight oat kick lately and just been trying all different kinds. So I'm going to do a cheesecake one. I'm going to be doing mine with cherries and my husband is going to be doing strawberries. And for lunch this week, super easy recipe. I'm going to be doing BLT chicken salad. So meal prep should be very easy. I wanted something super easy and also something that was fairly light to eat during the week since we have Thanksgiving coming up this week. And then as far as my dinner meal kits, if you're new here, I usually do my own meal kits. I'm just putting everything in a bag and getting them ready for the night that I have them, and I only have one to do this week. I thought I was going to do two, but I don't want to prep Wednesdays because the night before Thanksgiving, sometimes I don't end up cooking, so I'd rather not get the meal kit ready just in case I don't do it. So I'm only going to have one, and I've already washed my fruit, as you may have seen. So this should be fairly quick, so let's get started.
Don't you know that you're beautiful? No matter what the scars, no matter what they say, and we'll shout it out louder, prouder. Ain't no one gonna hold us down, 'cause you know that we're beautiful, just the way we are, just the way you are, oh, just the way you are.
Alright everyone, for breakfast prep, like I said, I'm doing cheesecake overnight oats. So for mine, I'm doing cherry cheesecake. For my husband, he's going to do strawberry. So I'm using a half a cup of oats. I am using just the quick 1 minute oats. That is 4 points on blue and green for a half a cup, or 0 on purple. So because I'm using half a cup, that's why these are going to be 5 points. It's 4 points for the oats, and then it is a point for the pudding. So I'm going to be using this cheesecake sugar-free pudding mix in it. If you want to cut down on a point on blue or green, you could just use 1/3 of a cup of the oats. So I already have my half a cup in each one. I'm going to add 1/4 of a package of the Jell-O cheesecake sugar-free, fat-free pudding mix. So if you look on the side, it says serving size 1/4 package, or 7 grams. So I just weighed out 7 grams into these little glass dishes. And also the other thing that I have in there is some Swerve brown sugar. You can use anywhere from 1/2 teaspoon to 1 teaspoon. I'm just going to go ahead and do 1/2 teaspoon this time. So just dump that into each one. We also need a teaspoon of cake batter extract. And if you can't find this in your local store, I will put it down in the description box below. Amazon does sell it. Don't worry, I have another bottle. So if you've had my birthday cake overnight oats, this is similar to that, except it has more of a cheesecake flavor because of the cheesecake jello. Next thing is a tablespoon of sugar-free syrup. I'm using the Maple Grove Farm sugar-free. I'm using some silk unsweet almond milk. So I'm just gonna do 1/3 of a cup. Normally I do 1/2 a cup because I use the chia seeds, which thickens it up. But for this, I'm just gonna do 1/3 of a cup. So then just kind of, it had air in it. So just stir that up, and then you can determine whether you want to add more milk. So it just depends on how you like the consistency of your oats. Some people like them real thick, some people don't. And again, if you've never had overnight oats, it's kind of like people either love them or they hate them. And we do not reheat these, but you certainly could if you don't like them cold. We take them out of the fridge and just let them sit a little bit. Oh my gosh, those are so good. All right, so I am gonna do the 1/2 a cup. I didn't think I was gonna have room, and those are really gonna be thick, especially after they sit. Oh my gosh. That's like a dessert. That is seriously like a dessert. Michelle, if you are watching, Michelle, she puts my birthday cake overnight oats on Instagram all the time. She makes them all the time. Michelle, you are going to love these if you love those. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to have them. All right, but like I said, I am gonna add the 1/2 a cup. I'm just gonna have to do it slowly. Sometimes if you, I don't know if you can see me, sometimes if you add the knife while you're pouring it, it helps. For these, you really have to kind of mix it around to get that extract in there too. All right, let me go through and get the milk put in the rest of these. All right, so now I have those all mixed up. So now I'm just gonna go through and cut my cherries and my strawberries. I could just put them in their whole like this, but I'm gonna cut them up. All right, so those are done. So we have the strawberry cheesecake and the cherry cheesecake. Super excited about these. So again, these are 5 points on blue and green and 1 point on purple. For lunch this week, I am making BLT chicken salad. So you can actually make these in a wrap if you want. I actually had one of these because I wanted to try the flavors of it. I had it for lunch and I put it on one of the lavash bread. It was really good. But this week, I'm actually gonna put it on a bed of lettuce. With Thanksgiving coming up, I'm just trying to eat real light Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All right, let me show you how I'm gonna cook the bacon for the BLTs. Sometimes I cook the bacon in the oven, sometimes I cook it on the stove. I have cooked it in my air fryer. Today, I'm just gonna be doing it in the microwave. So this is center cut bacon, the Appleton Farm center cut bacon that I get from Aldi. I'm gonna use 12 slices of this. So I'm just putting it in flat, lying it flat. I'm doing six slices at a time, lying it flat on paper towels and just putting it in the microwave. I do it for 1.5 minutes, flip it over and do it for another 1.5 minutes. In the meantime, while I get that cooking, I'm gonna get my lettuce. So I am using some green leaf lettuce. I really wanted the butter lettuce that's kind of like, it's kind of like in the form of a cup. That way I could just kind of plop the chicken salad on it, but they didn't have any, so this is gonna have to work. I'm just gonna cut the end off and then just kind of cut it down the middle. And I'm going to use my OXO salad spinner again. And I'm going to keep the scraps. I had the scraps to the celery. So I'm going to keep all these scraps. because I have a couple whole chickens that I bought from Sam's Club. And so I'm going to be making a whole chicken soon. So I'm going to take that chicken carcass and I'm going to put it into a bag and I'm going to freeze it with all the other vegetable scraps, and I will use it to make a broth coming up. So once I have enough, then I will film that and show you how I do my broth. After it sits in the vinegar water for a little bit, just drain that. And then just rinse it real good. And put the top on there. And there is a gorgeous breeze coming through my window right now, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. And spin it dry. It's still a little bit damp, but most of it's out, so now I'll just let it sit here and it'll air dry the rest of the way. So for this recipe, I'm actually using canned chicken. You can use regular chicken if you want. This is Hormel chicken breast, but if you want regular chicken, that works just as good. I'm going to use 3 10-ounce cans of this, so that's going to be 30 ounces. So since I'm going to be making 6 servings, it's going to be the equivalent of about half of a can per serving. So just dump that into your bowl. And the points on this, actually when I made the recipe, the points were coming out to 4 points, but I'm not really sure how much mayonnaise I'm going to be using. So I actually had it in the recipe builder that I was going to use 3/4 of a cup of mayonnaise and 1/4 of a cup of mustard, but I think I'm going to be using less. I'm going to shoot for 1/2 cup of mayonnaise and only 1/8 of a cup of mustard, and that will save a point. So if that's the case, then these will be 3 points on blue and purple and 4 points on green. So we're going to see what it does. So this is 1/2 cup, and I'm using the Kraft Light mayonnaise. So if you use any other type of mayonnaise, make sure to put it into your tracker because each mayonnaise has different points. So we're going to do 1/2 cup. We're going to start out with. And then in here, I just have some regular French's yellow mustard. I have about 1/8 of a cup or 2 tablespoons. I'm also going to add just a little bit of garlic powder and some black pepper. I don't need to add salt because of the fact that I'm using canned chicken. If you're using regular chicken, you may want to add some salt. Now I'm going to take some of my celery and I'm just going to dice it up and throw that in there. That's completely optional. If you don't like to have celery in your salad, then you can sure leave this out. Alright, and just add however much celery you want. That's just completely preference. I'm actually just going to add that much. The other thing is the tomatoes. So if you want to cut up the tomatoes and add them now, you can. I think for me, I'm just going to add them to the top of mine. So I'll put the salad onto the bed of lettuce and then I'll just top the tomatoes on top of it. So now just mix everything up. And we're going to see if we have enough mayonnaise. Alright, so I just tried it. I think that's going to be enough mayonnaise. Now we're going to add the bacon. So I'm going to take my bacon that I cooked in the microwave that really shrunk up. And I'm just going to go through and chop this up real good. Then just put that bacon right in there. Oh, I love bacon. And give that a stir. So honestly, I would say don't add salt until you add the bacon and see what it tastes like, because that might make it salty enough. Add just a little bit more celery. Alright, So at this point, if you wanted to, that's all you really need to do. You could just put this in the fridge the way that it is. I am actually going to be working in the office this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so I'm going to go ahead and put mine into dishes now. So I'm just going to take my lettuce. I'm going to put some celery and carrots in here in each container, and I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with the tomatoes. So since this isn't that butter lettuce, I just kind of have to try and make just a bed with it. Try and split this into 6 the best I can in here. Now I'm just going to be using some baby carrots. I prefer regular carrots like when I'm cooking, but for snacking I like these carrots. So just kind of rearrange those. And then you can make these into a bento bowl if you want, you know, like add a piece of cheese, maybe hard-boiled eggs or something. You know, I was gonna cut the tomatoes up and put them on top. I think I'm gonna leave them whole, and that way if we decide we want them cut up and mixed in, we can do that day, but otherwise we can eat them plain like this too. Plus I'm afraid that if I cut them up, I don't want them kind of draining the juice into the salad. So that is what our nice healthy lunch looks like this week. Okay, so there it is. There's our lunches. And I forgot about the grapes. So I actually love cut up grapes in my chicken salad. If you have never tried that, try it. It just gives the salad like a sweetness. It's so good. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it this way. I'm gonna leave the grapes intact and the tomatoes intact, so that way it's not creating all that juice. And then I can always cut it up and mix it into it the day that I have it. So no reheating with this. Just pull it out of the fridge and eat it. So again, 3 points on blue and purple and 4 points on green. All right, hopefully the lighting is okay. We are running out of sunlight. One of the bad things with the time change is we run out of sunlight early. So I luckily only have one dinner kit. So this is how I do my dinner kits. If you're new, I'm just putting everything into these bags. I use reusable bags and a dry erase marker on them. I will link these down in the description box below. So everything you see today, all the recipes, as well as any of the items that I use will be listed down in the description box below. So for this one, this is garlic herb pork tenderloin with roasted potatoes, carrots, and gravy. So all I'm doing is putting my carrots and potatoes in there. I use about 12 ounces of carrots and 12 ounces of potatoes. So you definitely could lower the points on this one. That's kind of big. You definitely could lower the points on this one if you didn't use as many potatoes. If you're on blue or green. Purple, your potatoes are 0 anyway. And then the other thing that I have is my topping for the pork tenderloin. So I have my pork tenderloin already portioned out. I have 2 5-ounce pieces of that. And this topping is 1/4 ounce of chives, 1 tablespoon of stone ground mustard, 1/2 tablespoon of olive oil, and some salt and pepper. And also some garlic. I basically just use a garlic press and just put a clove of garlic in there. So that way it's all ready the night that I make it. And then for the gravy, I just use a gravy packet. You can use whatever gravy you want. I think the Heinz pork gravy is pretty good in points. I think that's like 1 point. I'm just using this kind I get from Aldi. So I'll toss that in there, and that is all that I do for my dinners. And that is the only dinner that I had this week. Actually, I have some green onion too that I'm gonna toss in there, and I'll just use that to top it. So that's it for my dinner kits and snacks. I don't have anything to do because, as you saw, I already washed my fruits and vegetables. So what I've done is just taken the fruits. I have some blueberries, I have some grapes left, and a few cherries left, so I just put them in a container. And then the other snacks we'll be having are pudding and also pretzel sticks. I forgot I was going to be having those. I could probably portion those out, but I think I won't worry about it today just because we're running out of sunlight. So basically what I do is just take some snack bags and I portion out my pretzels. That way it's already portioned out and I don't keep grabbing in the bag. So let me get everything out and show you what we ended up with this week. Alright, so no close-up this week since I pretty much was close-up with you while I was making it. Please give this video a thumbs up, put any comments down below, let me know how you're doing with your meal prepping. And if you're new, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'll see you in my next video. I'm Kristi and I'm Planning Us Healthy.